I get my renovation ideas out of my head and into council-ready drawings? And how will a building designer help me? So, Emmanuel, how do we get our ideas out of our head and into council-ready drawings?
Well, to do that, it involves 4 steps. The first step is to have a clear idea about what you're going to do with your project. Now, this idea could be in your head, or it could be in the form of sketches on paper. As long as you can clearly communicate those ideas, that means you're ready to take the next step.
Okay, so it's pretty important then for the first step to have a clear idea and to be able to communicate your plans.
That's right.
What would be the second step?
Well, the second step is to hire a licensed building designer.
And why a building designer?
Well, a building designer can take the ideas out of your head and turn them into fully scaled dimension drawings for council approval.
And why is it important to have a licensed building designer?
Well, a licensed building designer has been screened, tested, and deemed competent by the local building commission in which they operate. Also, as a condition of being licensed, you have to have indemnity insurance.
Okay, so that really gives us peace of mind that the person has been checked out and is qualified to do the job.
Yes.
What would be the third step?
Well, the third step is to know what your project constraints are.
What are project constraints?
Well, a project constraint is anything that can cause a major impact on your project design.
What are some examples of project constraints?
Well, some examples are being located in a bushfire zone, a flood zone, an easement area, or a building character overlay. These are examples of project constraints.
All right, and how would we go about checking whether our project has any of those constraints?
Well, the first step would be to contact council. In fact, you can engage your building designer to act on your behalf and directly communicate with council.
So it's pretty important to have a working relationship with your building designer so that they can act on your behalf if you wish them to.
That's right.
The final stage?
Well, the final stage is to set realistic timeframes. Essentially, be your own project manager. Each project has different phases, numbers of phases. For example, you could have 5 time phases. So you need to know how long it'll take you to do your drafting. That's one phase. The structural engineering, soil testing, energy efficiency, and of course, council approval process. These are all time frames.
Whoa, that's a lot to remember. How would I go about setting up my own schedule?
Well, again, working with your project, with your building designer, your building designer will let you know what time frames you have, how many, in what order they are in, and can also combine some of these time frames. So for instance, I just mentioned 5 time frames earlier. They can convert those time frames into 3 time frames, save you, of course, time and money.
Well, that all makes sense because after all, timing is everything in the building industry, and it's pretty important to have that relationship with your building designer. Thanks for going through the 4 steps of what we need to do to get started. We've got an offer for our viewers.
Yes. Right now, for a limited time only, we're offering a free 30-minute consultation with one of our building designers. If you're committed to getting your project started, just click on the link below and you have access to schedule an appointment with us.
Thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.